Passover Pandemonium. This Passover, our local Reformed temple seder, was a whirlwind of kids, matzah, and potentially predictable drama. An elderly woman, probably with dementia, went berserk on my wife about over our kids' behavior. Fortunately, I was spared from the old wench's onslaught. Probably because she felt pity for me after overhearing I was begging to escape for 45 minutes before her temper tantrum. Admittedly, our three young kids were being agents of chaos. They bounced off the walls, explored vacant classrooms, and the middle one allegedly licked some unattended plates. I watched as the ancient woman at the table next to us stared daggers at us and rocked back and forth like the Joker in an insane asylum trying to control herself. I warned my wife, who told me I was overreacting and making up an excuse to try and leave. Partly true. After all, people expect kids to misbehave in public now, am I right? After failing miserably to calm my kids down, I resigned myself to defeat as I watched Cruella de Vil turn all sorts of different vivid colors. We almost made it to dessert, when sadly, an innocent game of golden doodle stuffed animal hot potato that my kids were playing on the floor prompted the senescent loon to melt down, like the Fukushima reactor being hit by a tsunami. As I listened to old ladies screech at my wife for a few minutes like the Green Goblin from Spider-Man, my first instinct probably should have been to defend her and my children. But I couldn't help shake the feeling that the grinchy granny might have a point. A lot went through my head while I spectated the old lady's takedown of my family. First, parenting is hard, and people in general seem less tolerant of kids than ever before. Even though we're blessed to have an amazing rabbi who kept the seder short, funny, and engaging, these types of events are impossible for kids. No amount of coloring books and crafts, of which there were plenty, can stop children from becoming feral at temple seder, past their bedtime. I feel like 10 or 20 years ago, the old people at the next table might have picked up some rambunctious kids and helped entertain them instead of scolding them, or the very least politely ignored them. I tried to snap back to reality as I watched the old lady's head almost spin completely around, completely like in The Exorcist. But it was clear she was losing steam. When she finally powered down and went back to her table, she burst into a dozen bats and flew back to whatever nest of misery she crawled out of for the evening. My next thought? Sweet relief. Maybe my wife will finally want to leave now. I know that sounds terrible, but I try my best to be honest here. And indeed, we did slink out shortly after. We probably would have fought in the car, but the family was temporarily united against the mean old lady. When we got home, I retreated to our room to decompress, while my wife put the kids to bed. Because like my children, I am a giant man-child. In the aftermath of the seder chaos, I keep questioning why we do this multiple times a year. Is it the importance of tradition? It does seem like we have an innate need to build and maintain community as a subconscious survival mechanism that helps protect future generations of Jews. Even as I struggle with my own faith, I'm still happy to send my kids to religious school and think it's important to do so. But I can't deny that I often feel a hollow sense of religious obligation that ultimately seems to breed resentment. Those feelings of resentment only lead to more guilt, which leads to hate and to suffering. Okay, that last part was a bad Master Yoda joke for the Star Wars fans out there, but you get the idea. It's not lost on me that especially on this Passover, with so many families unjustly separated due to the October 7th war in Israel, how petty it is to complain about having to sit through a few-hour dinner. I realize I'm very fortunate, but I still feel trapped in the cycle of stress and boredom that these holidays bring. And yet I cannot bring myself to stop participating in them. I can't shake the feeling that I am the asshole. And yet I know as much as I complain that I don't want to go to the next holiday, I'll probably end up going. I'll go because I don't want to feel like a shitty father or husband. Or maybe because our strange Jewish experience has convinced me that the rituals are supposed to be brutal. I'll keep showing up to these holidays because maybe the torment's the point. Proof we're still here, that's a miracle. Plate lickers and meltdowns included.